So, if you're watching the recording, welcome to Becoming an Independent Musician or Artist with Adam Kim, better known as Keep It Inside. So, without further ado, Adam, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. I recognize some of you actually. So, hello. Um, this workshop, I want it to be a little bit interactive. So if you have questions during like small little questions or clarifications that you need, you can use the chat on the side. You can use the chat in Zoom. I have it pulled up so that I can try to see it. And Garvin, if you think that I'm missing something that's pretty important, you can interrupt me. But yeah, thank you for coming, and a Musicians Club, thank you for letting me come back. If you don't know me, I used to be a co-founder of Musicians Club, so this was one of my dreams to come back here and to give back to the community that gave me a lot. So, all right, so let's get started. Becoming an independent musician or artist. I'm going to be talking about the steps that you should be taking so that you can build a foundation, so that you can better prepare yourself for the future. All right, so let's get started. So who am I? So Garvin already mentioned I'm better known as Keep It Inside. That's my artist name. On Spotify, I have 85,000 monthly listeners and 7,000 followers. I have 3 songs out that have over 1 million streams on Spotify. And I have been making music for over 5 years, usually in the lo-fi space, but lately in the alternative R&B and the indie R&B space. Let's see. Artists that I have worked with that you may know, I've worked with Limbo, is a bedroom pop artist. I think a notable song is Airplane Mode. And Elijah who's a lo-fi artist who got claim to fame with doing a lo-fi flip on Bad and Bougie. I think his version was called Sad and Bougie, but it popped off, and Elijah who has his own living off of this. And then lastly, I've worked with MXM Tune, bedroom pop artist turned into pretty much a pop artist. Has been pretty distinguished within the Vine community, and then it died. And now she's pretty distinguished within the TikTok community. So yeah, these are the people that I've worked with. All to say that you should listen to me because I've gone through a lot of stuff, worked with a lot of people. These are the things that I've learned based on the mistakes and the failures that I've had. These are the things that I wish that I could have applied from the beginning, but now I'm giving to you all so that you can you can make it better than I do, make it better than I am right now. Hopefully, or hopefully we can grow together. But all right, so what is the big picture here? And these are all questions that you should be asking yourself throughout your career. So I won't be going into it too much, but so the 4 questions that I have here is, what are your expectations with a music career? It's like, what are you looking to get out of it? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years, and how committed are you? Are kind of questions that kind of set a standard of how much effort are you willing to put in? Where's your cap? Are you trying to do this as like a hobby, as a side thing, or are you trying to see this as your main source of income? And lastly, what do you define as success? Because we all know success is different for everybody. Coming from an Asian background, my version of success was being a doctor and having a good load of money so I don't have to worry about anything else. That is a version of success, but not everyone's version. So when you're thinking of becoming a musician or becoming an artist within that space, where do you or what milestones do you have to reach in order to look at yourself and say, I've made it, or I've done a good job? And I think these questions are really important, just so that you know the answers now and not have to come up with them later. Especially the last one. If you define your success, if you can't define your success right now, you probably will be climbing forever. You won't know when is it good. You'll place your value in things that aren't really worth your time, and it could really bring you down. All right, so that's enough of that. Just these things you should think about. All right, so this is like the actual checklist. This is going to be the bulk of this presentation. So as a musician, you should have these things. You don't have to have them now. You don't have to do them now. But I feel like these things will help you as an artist be a better package, so that you're prepared to either like, I can't think of a better word, but offer yourself to record labels or present yourself so that you're an appealing and marketable person, very removed from like the artistry. But all these things are really important to get yourself out there and be noticed a lot easier, a lot faster, and with more longevity. So let's start with the first one. Are your goals? Yeah, that's it. So this is kind of a dumb slide, but why goals and what kind of goals? We all know goals can help us achieve things, and especially with the music industry, because in the music industry, everything is confusing. I would get a lot of questions that like, what do I need to do? Like, what steps do I need to take in order to make this successful? A question I ask all the time is, what do I need to put so that Spotify will put me on one of their playlists? I ask that question every single day. So things are confusing out there. So setting goals can help compartmentalize that confusion. So you can kind of see, as you're reaching the certain goals that you set, you can say, okay, I'm slowly making my way towards whatever place that I set out that I want to go to. Yeah. And you can also, the second point is better gauge your accomplishments. You want to know that you're doing something in progression towards your success. I hope that made sense. So you want to be able to mark off your sheet and look back on it and say, oh, I did all these things. And even if I'm not reaching this, I know eventually that I should get noticed by someone, right? Oh, let's go back. What kind of goals should you be setting? Because if anybody wants to write in the chat, like, what do you think I mean by saying that a goal should be actionable? Like, what kind of goals do you think you should be setting for yourself? Like, if anybody has like a goal that they have for themselves, you could write it down. I send it over. I'll give you some time if anybody wants to. Okay, something you can actually do That's good. I finish and release an EP at the end of the summer. A song a month or an album per year. Yeah, Garvin and Ryan. Yes, these are really good. Christine actually writing music and having a complete work to present to people. I liked Ryan, you're the first one to kind of like give like an actual goal, finish and release an EP at the end of the summer. Yeah, those are the types of goals that we want. Goals that you can actually do with yourself, something that you can control. Actually getting my hands on a violin. I mean, sometimes that seems like a monetary problem if you can't if you can't do it or not. So you want to set goals that are kind of in your realm, something that you can actually do. Some bad examples that a lot of people set are, I want to get to this. I'm at fault for this too, but I say I want to get 150K monthly listeners. I'm sorry. Chill, okay? I'm not calling anybody poor. We're just gonna move past this and pretend nothing ever happened, even though it is recorded. So if you're setting goals like I want 1 million streams at the end of the year, it's a good goal to have, or it's a good milestone, but it's not, you're relying on other people to get that 1 million streams for you. And if you don't reach that goal, you'll feel like you're doing something wrong when it's not your fault at all. Well, we'll get to that later. But for the most part, there's something that you can't control. So you want to make goals that are something that you can actually do. You can keep yourself accountable, something realistic. So if you're saying, I want to release 100 songs this year, might be achievable, but at what cost? So you don't want to be another Viper. I don't know if you guys know Viper. The guy releases 300 albums. I think he releases about like 100 albums a year. You can just look him up. I'll send a link after. It's inappropriate, but good stuff, I guess. Yeah, so these are the kind of actionable and realistic goals. So these are the examples we were kind of talking about, some of which I do. So yeah, I think most of you kind of understand what kind of goals you should be setting. So we're going to take some time here. I'm going to just set like 2 minutes because this shouldn't be that bad or should that hard. Take some time to come up with 3 goals that you can complete by the end of this year. So it's almost May, so about like 7 months. No, I'm wrong. 8 months. Yeah, I'll set the timer here. I'll come back at like 7:20. And during this time, if you guys have questions about what I talked about so far, you can drop it in the chat. So I'm going to repeat something that I heard from Ludwig, who is a big Twitch streamer. He did something similar where he asked people, if you want to be a streamer, write a couple goals down. And then if you didn't write something during this time, if you didn't take the time to just write a little bit, maybe this isn't for you. That's like the hard truth, because these are kind of things that you should be doing and you need to do in your life, or for music, in order to succeed within the industry, because it's not going to be a fun time all the time. Most of it is going to be stuff like marketing, doing some like grunt work, sending emails. So just these small goals that you guys wrote down, they're going to be really important to you. So that keep yourself accountable. All like rip that out, put it in a sticky note, put it on your wall so that you're always looking at it. Or if you write it down, just have it on your sticky notes or something. All right, let's move on.